I just don't
Now we're
know how
recording.
that, okay. I don't know how all that works with Zoom recording and Facebook. So I was like,
I don't either, but I will tell you that doing that, now your mouth moves at the same time as your sound. Because
oh,
I was seeing, and I'm not looking on Facebook because I know that there's a lag there, but I was like, why
uh,
is Zoom doing this?
oh,
But
funny.
you
Yeah.
know, when you're doing this stuff, you just keep right on moving, right? You just
Yeah.
keep right on going.
I know. I know.
That's
So, oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I wanted to talk about the new cohort that started on Saturday.
I know I was just going to mention that. So we had the special summer session of Action Zone's Veterans Florida Entrepreneurship Program. And if you are interested, there's still a few seats left. So you need to get in touch with us because you can watch the video and catch up. What a great group. I say this, you know, we say this every single
Every,
time.
yeah, because
Yeah, this
our
is such a great
community,
group. This was
yeah.
better than the last group. This is, it was just, it's really good. Everybody is so engaged. And, you know, I titled today's Zoom meeting as, you know, what are you going to do in the second quarter of 2021? You've already not done what you thought you were going to do in the first quarter. So what are you waiting for? You know,
I
what
know.
are you waiting for? It's not going to happen if you don't put one foot in front of the other. And so, you know, come and join us. It's a really diverse mix of businesses. And I'm not, I'm still the oldest one in the class, but I've got some that are closer to me,
Uh,
and then some that are, you know, just recently transitioned or or not in the too distant past. So yeah, it was great. You know, when you're talking about the first two classes, as you know, we talk about validating your concept. And some of the people in the class have been in business for a couple of years. So it's not like they're just starting up a business, but introducing these concepts to them that they were foreign to them. I mean, they started a business like a lot of entrepreneurs do. I'm guilty of this, absolutely, that I think there's a great idea and I go for it. I don't think about all the things that have to happen to make it structurally sound and long term. But it's to hear people that have been in business for a couple of years say, oh my gosh, I never considered it, or I never looked at it that way. And the fact that there was a lot of collaboration going on. They were very willing to help each other out and give each other different information or, you know, feedback on what they just said, or we were working on their hypothesis. What do they think their business is? Who do they think their customer is? And now they're going to go out there and figure out if those guesses are correct. So it was really good. I really liked it.
yeah, I'm really excited because I was able to pop in and see everybody. So really
Yep.
excited to see how these businesses grow. Good morning, Natasha. Natasha is with us this morning. She's back in Tampa right now. I saw on
I
Facebook.
know, I know. She had dinner at the Hard Rock. I wish she
I
had called
know.
me. I gave you dates for horseback riding, Natasha. So I'm looking for an email from you.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I hope I get an invitation. I don't know if my weekend will be free, but
Yeah,
I've
because
been,
you've had quite a bit going on. You got your house done after the hurricane last year.
yeah, finally, we're finally back into the hurricane or back into the house since the hurricane. I mean, we were not displaced right immediately after, but you know, during the construction, it was we were out of the house. It's just been a crazy ride. I don't even know how the two of us made it through, me and Jeremy, with between Luminary and Action Zone and Bunker Labs were like, you know, all this stuff going on.
I know. I remember when you said you were going to have to be out of there for 2 weeks, 2 or 3
hmm
weeks. And I was like, oh man, that's a long time. But boy, I don't know how it went for you, but for me, it was like, oh, you're back already?
I know.
Are you back in your house?
Well, the third week we put the boys in what I like to call the resort. It makes me feel less guilty of putting them in there. So we put them in the resort for the third week because we couldn't have pets. But the first 2 weeks, without their normal yard and you know stuff like that, was a little. They did better than we were expecting, but they did good.
They probably did better than you.
I know. Good morning, Jasmine. Jasmine's visiting us from Texas today.
She is on a roll. She's
I
on fire,
know
isn't she?
she is.
She's going to share a link. Share her book was featured in a couple of movies or television programs or both, and she's just
I know. So
kicking.
Jasmine, if you're still on or you're able to drop the links your link so in the on Action Zones page, because I think she's watching it from my Facebook right now.
Oh,
Oh, she commented. Let's see what she said. But yeah, share your the links to all your fabulous stuff. She said good morning. Um, on the Action Zone video so that everybody can follow you or buy your book. Even better.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you know that Omar Fuentes was named FAVOB, Florida Association of Veteran-Owned Businesses, very first state chairman?
I did know that because I follow Omar and his company, and I would follow him to the ends of the earth. He's just such a good person. So I was really happy for him.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on the show so he can tell us what that means.
Yeah, that's true.
What does that mean for the for FAVOB in the
He's the
state?
guy behind the curtain, like
Yeah.
in the Wizard of Oz, he's the one that makes all the things happen behind the curtain. Although I should say that's not really true because Baron is like front and center and he does all of that. I remember when we first met Baron almost 3 years ago, or maybe just 3 years ago, and he was trying to figure out where he could best be utilized in the veteran community. And
Yeah,
I think he found the perfect place for him.
I
And
think
I love that
so.
we're able to collaborate as well as we
Yeah.
do.
And Baron, if you're watching, I don't know if he's listening right now, but um, he sent me an email because he's going through Julianne's CEO mindset, um, asking, "What do I do?" It's amazing how many people that are close to you don't really know what you do. I experience it frequently with Luminary Global. But I haven't forgotten about you, Baron. I just have been overwhelmed. So I'm going to get to answering your question. Yeah, even my youngest brother, he's like obsessed with flashlights. Yeah,
That's an
and
odd thing to be obsessed with.
yeah, I don't know. He likes fancy flashlights. And the last time he bought one, I was like, "Where'd you get that?" He said, "Amazon." I'm like, "Did you know like we sell those and you can have friends and family discount?" It's like, "I don't know." Um, but
Yeah, it's not that they don't know what we do. It's just, and this is probably even worse statement, they just don't think of us when they're going out to do that.
yeah,
It's like,
especially with
oh,
Amazon purchases because it's such a habit now.
mhm.
For I think for people to go there and then everybody thinks that they're saving money with Amazon Prime and all that stuff. But if they only knew.
Yeah, you should do a webinar.
I know.
Why you should not buy at Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, I do too. I just try to, if I'm purchasing something, definitely go to that direct, the company's direct website or whatever if I'm buying
Mhm.
online. So, especially for smaller businesses.
Oh yeah, because the price they pay to have them featured on
Yeah.
other platforms.
Yeah. It's been eye-opening, uh, having items that we sell on Amazon and how the whole process works. And you remember, oh, what was her name? I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I bought the back thing from her. Um, the
Oh yeah.
gosh,
Now you got both of us
I
doing it.
know, I know. I'm gonna look it up right now. But anyway, she started on Amazon, and she was trying to share with me, the challenges that she was having, with Amazon or how challenging it is for a small business to sell on Amazon. And I didn't really like I couldn't. I mean, I heard her, but until you're experiencing it yourself and you see the dollars going to
Uh-huh.
Amazon, I was like,
Yep.
um, yeah, uh, it was very eye opening.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
is. And then we've had several veterans in the program that have either started an Amazon distribution business or like Richard Jenke started a logistics delivery.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting to watch unfold that business, or I should say unfold, but grow.
Yeah, there's never enough of them, especially with the pandemic and everybody ordering so many things online. you know, again, we all know how much everything has changed, but I wonder what it's going to be like trying to get back. I'm going to say back to normal, but I think we have to be aware that normal isn't going to be what it was before.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Things are definitely
And to
gonna
your
get tougher.
point, ordering things online mean less money to the businesses that sell those things. Did you know that there's like a 30% plus fee to the restaurants that use the Uber Eats and DoorDash and
Oh yeah.
Grubhub and things like that? You
Yep.
know, their food margins are so small anyway.
Mm-hmm. I know. So Kendra is
Kendra,
who, yeah, Kendra. I knew it's still Monday morning for those of you who don't realize it. And I'm not through my coffee yet, but yeah, Kendra, she's the one that first introduced me to the challenges of small businesses on Amazon. But, back to the food thing, I had a conversation, a very brief conversation with August and Jenny Davis
mhm,
and their Ghost Kitchen that they have in Orlando, and they're doing delivery as well. And he was like, "Man, we can make so much more money if I didn't have to give so much to DoorDash."
yep,
Um, I mean, um, we it's the vehicle now for startups to
yep.
use those types of services, obviously. But yeah, definitely it's a slower roll. So diversifying how you get your product or service to your customers it's a must. It's a must.
Yeah, I had that same conversation about diversifying your income with one of the notary classes that I'm teaching. They all have these these lanes, you know, I got to be right in this lane. This is what I do. I don't do anything else. I just do this.
Hmm.
And getting anybody in a business to understand sometimes that you have to have diverse streams of revenue. If
Yeah.
one is slowing down, and another one might be picking up the slack. I mean, that's why grocery stores have 47,000 products,
You're right.
because not all of them are going to sell big that week, and not all of them have the same profit margin on them.
Hmm.
It's so important when you
Yeah.
and then I'm going to say this too, because then the flip side of that is people who want to have so many products out there at the same
Yeah.
time. You know, you can't,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to grow a business when you've got 47 plates spinning. 47
Right.
might be a good number today. I'm going to play the lottery because I've said that twice now. You can't keep all those plates spinning. You
Right.
have to focus on one or two, get them profitable, get them moving on the
Hmm.
tracks the way you want them to, and then start adding more.
Right.
I know that
Right.
doesn't apply to every business. I'm sure somebody will write in the comments, well, that doesn't apply to my business. I'm sure that's true. But
Hmm.
just, diversify, but don't try to do it all at one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy, my husband and I, we are obviously obsessed with business because we run our business together, and it's like our everyday conversation. It's our dinner conversation. It's our pillow talk conversation. Um, but
I'm not going there.
one of
Yeah,
our
turn me up
things.
to talk about profit margins.
You're so funny. Still the only person after all these years that can make me laugh out loud like that. Um, so anyway, because we prefer to eat dinner at home, like home cooked meals, but
Mhm.
our TV show that we watch is Shark Tank, right? And they're always asking, some of these entrepreneurs, do you have too many SKUs? So just kind of using that as in the back of your mind, like, do you have too many SKUs? Do you
Mhm.
have too many offerings? Because if you can't manage all of those offerings, then, at 100% or 120% as a business owner, then maybe you should dial back a little bit.
Mhm. At least until you get one of them rolling,
Yeah,
or a handful of them rolling,
right.
in the
And
right direction.
right, and all those other ideas can be part of the long-term strategic plan.
Mhm.
So if you don't understand how that works, or you need help doing that,
That was a
sign up
good
for
way. That
Action
was a good
Zone.
segue right into a
Yeah,
plug.
sign up for Action Zone because we between what we have in Action Zone and Russ's mission mapping, it all comes together. And you got to read the book Traction.
Well, you have to read that once you have a
Mm,
business.
yeah.
I mean, you could read it for ideas. It's an awesome book. Once you have a
Mhm.
business, it is like the go-to to figure out how to make all those moving parts work seamlessly
Mhm.
and with no squeaks
Yeah. Well, it
together.
definitely helps to be a business owner to understand some of the stuff they're talking about. Because unless you're in the throes of it, you're like, what? I don't understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
A couple weeks ago, I mentioned something about, I don't think you were here for that, or you came in late. I was talking about getting involved in your local chambers and other business
mhm.
organizations. This past week, I attended a meeting at the Greater Riverview Chamber of Commerce where I've got a membership for my notary business. And I was surprised. I said during that Monday morning chat that you never know where you're going to find people that you're going to be able to connect with, and you never know who you're talking to. So you
Mhm.
just have to have this same, you have to be you and represent you everywhere you go. Now, if you're an ass,
Yeah.
that's a problem. But if you're not, if you want people to know you're not an ass. Um, but I attended this meeting, and there were three of us that attended in person. That felt really good. And then I think there were 5 or 6 that were on the Zoom, and it's specifically for people that have just joined or in their first year of membership. Really nice how they try to keep you involved.
Mhm.
And in that short little, the tiny little group, there was another notary and there was another entrepreneur support organization.
Mhm.
And so in 1 hour meeting, first one I've attended, I made 2 contacts for both of my businesses, 2
Mm.
good contacts for both
That's
of my
great.
businesses. Collaborative efforts that can be made on both sides.
Mhm.
So when you're out and about, don't forget that you never know who you're going to meet or who you're talking to.
Absolutely, because a lot of people are unassuming. Jennifer Harmon joined us. Good morning, Jennifer. And she's like, why don't you use Amazon as one of your distro channels? You certainly should, Jennifer, if you've got a product, try Amazon. It's a good way to get started, but it shouldn't be your only um, sales channel. You've got to diversify for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely should be one in a portfolio of places.
Mhm. Yeah, with Luminary, we were kind of shocked at the beginning, just uh, figuring things out, for e-commerce and Pinterest. That was a real big surprise for us that Pinterest is um, a good place for our
Is
business.
it really?
Yeah, we totally
Oh,
wouldn't be
wow.
surprised. Yeah. And there has been times where our sales on Pinterest has uh, been, yeah, it's just been really good for our business. So
I would never have guessed that.
we wouldn't have either.
What about Instagram? I see a lot of things on Instagram. Is that another one?
Yep, we do good on Instagram. And then one time Jeremy, was doing just his Jeremy's big brain was doing some kind of analytical stuff and realized that our older customers tend to buy on eBay.
Hmm.
Mhm. So eBay's still out there alive and kicking.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. They between eBay and PayPal, um, they definitely, well, I have lots of opinions about eBay and PayPal. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
selling on eBay and I used PayPal the very first year that they were PayPal. And then they switched to being owned by eBay, and now they were back to being owned by somebody else. I don't even know what they're doing now, but
Mm-hmm.
I actually closed all my PayPal accounts
Mm.
and I don't shop on eBay anymore.
Well,
But I'm in the minority for sure.
yeah, they just brought their payment system in-house. They were on PayPal for a long time, and that's something that's pretty new. So maybe you'll be interested in shopping on eBay again.
Oh, you mean eBay brought their payment
Yeah,
system?
they
Well,
don't
that's
use
how
it.
PayPal got started. That's the way it
Hmm.
originally was. And then they
Yep.
broke off and then they came back and then I mean, just, you
Yeah.
know, I understand that things grow and change, and that's the nature of life and that's the nature of business. But it's really disheartening when you know what eBay was 20 years ago and you see what it is today.
Hmm.
You can't, most of it is distributors,
Hmm.
some of them not even from this country. And it's not like it used to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
which,
that's for
you know,
sure.
I know I'm 60 and I sound like that old person that says that when I was young, it wasn't like that when I was young. Yeah, I get that, but how do you stop well, that's a really interesting question. If you
What?
want your business to be that kind of business that people, not that they're nostalgic for, but that people will say, you know, they were good then, they're good now. I have no, how do you continue to grow and not succumb to the pressures of all of this high tech? um, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I think you get my thought process. I need more coffee.
Yeah.
You know, how do you get to be that business that's still thriving and you're still providing the same services and culture that you did when you started?
Well, gosh, that's deep, Rosie.
I've been digging all weekend. I am deep.
I know. Oh, yeah. Well, before I answer that, good morning, Avery. She's celebrating her 3rd year in business. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I know, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, it is. She's doing great things. And Jasmine mentioned that she's on Amazon for exposure, but the profit margins are slim compared to the website. Yeah, that's very common. I think that, if I'm understanding your question, is um, you've heard me say this, not every business is tech, but every business needs tech in
Right.
some way, shape, or form. Like tech is touching our business regardless. So staying current to those, the technology changes and how it can enhance your business, um, but not take over your business is really important.
Mhm.
And I am not tech savvy, tech minded. So obviously, I'm very fortunate that Jeremy's my business partner, and he is. So he's able to understand, or he stays on top of it, and he's able to understand it and then implement as appropriate. But I think if you were uh, a business owner and you didn't have a Jeremy, getting a partner or outsourcing something to be able to
Mhm.
see if there's some technology that can enhance your business offerings somehow. I think it's really important. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like when the back in the army days, and we were uh, bringing in and I won't even go to all the details, but bringing in a new like concept in the military. I used to tell people all the time, like the military has to evolve just like our society or along with our society. So
Mhm.
the what's going on in the world changes how we do the business of war, right? And it's kind of the same thing with business. I think that the landscape of technology and its capabilities just it changes the way we do business, and
Mhm.
hopefully for the best.
Yeah, as you were describing that, I was thinking about one of my favorite movies is You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And she owned the little bookstore around the corner, and that was the bookstore her mother had built, business her mother had
Mhm.
built. And it was, that great little bookstore where it catered to the reader and you knew the owner and the owner knew all of the customers, and it's like, oh, I got a new one, a new author in, so you really felt that connection. And then Tom Hanks had this massive book business like Books a Million or Barnes and Noble and those kind of things. And he just gobbled her up. And I think and this was the point of what I think I was trying to get to. And that is, we can't become a country of big conglomerates. We have to figure out how to keep supporting and allow these small businesses to survive, because they definitely provide something to the community that you can't get from those big corporate conglomerates. I like to get a cup of coffee out at a small local coffee shop. I don't want to go to the big chains. I go to bookstores, used bookstores that also sell new stuff, because I would rather that than go to the big guys. If I could find a good shoemaker, I would buy my shoes made for me. I just think we've got to figure out, as a society, we have to figure out how to keep that part that made America what it is, those small businesses. We have to figure out a way to keep that alive. And it goes beyond just small business Saturdays, or that time after Black Friday,
right,
where we talk about small business week. It's got to be a conscious effort every single time we shop to look at the smaller guys and not necessarily the big conglomerates. And it goes down to and that, I think, is what will help those smaller businesses, those not necessarily small business, but those local businesses, maintain that culture that kept them great, because people are supporting them. And I think we really need to support them. You are really exceptional at that. I look and look and look, and then if I'm too frustrated by what I can't find, then I just order it. But you are really good at seeking out the local places and supporting them. And I try to get better. That's my goal, is to get better at that this year.
Yeah, I just and you know what, every single time that I'm introduced to a business in our community, whether it's through Action Zone or Bunker Labs or just, my everyday out doing stuff, I will find that, the website, and I have folders on my desktop where bunker companies or Action Zone companies, and I save those websites. So if I'm looking for a gift or, a speaker or something, I try to go to those websites. Because my
A good
my
idea.
memory is
Yeah.
not what it used to be. So, and I just even recently purchased, what did I buy? So I brought my brother, one of my brothers, he just moved into a new place, some spices from Mutt Sauce, and then I bought my sister-in-law some candles from uh, Southern Elegance, both veteran run businesses or owned businesses. And I just bought Marshall and my girlfriend Sarah, Busy Baby. Did you see Busy Baby on Shark Tank?
No,
So
because
Busy.
I don't watch Shark Tank. I watch murder porn, but that's okay. That's a
Oh,
whole other conversation. But
I
go
like
ahead.
those murder mysteries too, but no, Busy Babies was part of Bunker Labs incubator before it was officially called Veteran in Residence, and she made her way to Shark Tank.
Wow.
It's this really cool, like, square. It's food grade silicone and it sticks to everything, like high chairs, walls, windows, the handle on the grocery cart, thing. And it has these little straps, if you will, where you can put toys on. So, babies like to throw things because
Yeah.
they realize if they throw things on the floor, then they're going to get a reaction from whichever adult is
Yeah.
nearby, right? And so this it doesn't allow the toys to hit the floor, which is, nasty. Ugh. But anyway, yeah. So that's just kind of what I do. Christmas was the same. I bought.
Mhm.
Um, we have Jeremy's youngest nephew, eight, 8 or 9. So I bought some toys from Omar, out of Orlando, Parent Choice Games. So, yeah, I just try to do that. The challenge is you've got to be willing to, and this is where things like Amazon and even Walmart, all those places are giving free shipping.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, um, uh, they're making their shipping up in other ways.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
baking it in
It's not
somewhere.
that they're getting it for free and they're passing it
Mhm.
on to you. They're still
Right,
paying
right,
for it, as are you.
right. Absolutely. So anyway, yeah, I like buying from our people.
I coincidentally did a signing for a couple that live right here in Lithia, but their business in Plant City is, I think it's Armor Bags is the father's business. And then the son has one, I can't think of the name of that one, that makes plant bags. So you could, the hanging ones or plant bags you
Oh.
can plant on your patio or, and they've been doing it for a while, and he's a young guy. I don't know how old he is, but I bet you he's under 30 for sure. But he's been doing this for a long time. And his father's company actually manufactures the plant bags that he designed and sells. So
That's
it was, talk
interesting.
about a family business.
Yeah, and they're it's veteran owned.
I don't know if it is or not. I don't know
Oh.
if it is or not. I don't know what the father, if the father is or not. The young man was not, but the
Armor, like ARMOR
yeah.
bags. Was it, where was it, Lithia?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's where they live, but they're the building and the business is in Plant City,
Mm.
right
I'm
by
gonna
the
check that
airport.
out.
It's a pretty cool place. I'll send you a link. I was
Oh.
impressed with all the different things. And since knew I was going to be spending the weekend planting, I was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna have to look on that site and see what I see.
Yeah, because Luminary, we do. So I just found the website. I think some of their stuff is very complimentary to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I didn't
Yeah.
think about that, but glad to help.
Well, and sometimes these conversations really prompt connections, just like Lauren Weiner. I went to lunch with her last week and just mentioned how amazing you were and what you were able to do in 2020 with, you know, becoming a notary and then turning it into this, killer business where you're helping other notary professionals have their own business. What you do best is teach entrepreneurs. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know Rosie did notary, and now I need a notary now."
Yeah,
So,
and I got work this week because of you. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and you and I are getting together this week. Don't put anything on the calendar that's going to interrupt our lunch. It better be on the books.
It is. What day is it?
Wednesday.
Yes, I have it. It is on my calendar.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
All
looking
right.
forward to it. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It's been too long. I mean, I see you at least once a
Yeah,
week.
yeah, I know what you mean, but I
It's not
mean
the same.
three-dimensional you.
Yeah, I know. So, all right. Well,
Well,
I
that's
think
all I
that
got for today.
I know, me too. We won't tell everybody where we're going to have lunch together because we might not get alone time. I have a
No, but
feeling
if
like,
you see us, don't hesitate to come and say hello and then go away, right?
yeah,
This is actually a tutoring session, as I recall. So
it is.
it is a social lunch, but it's also a tutoring session.
I
So
know.
I can't wait to
Rose,
see you.
me too. Very exciting. We got to think of some place where we're going to eat very good.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I have a couple of good suggestions. Okay, we'll talk about it
Okay.
though.
All right.
All right, it's good to see you, my
You
friend.
too.
Good to see
Happy.
everybody that dropped in today. And
Yeah,
don't forget, if you know somebody or if you yourself need to bolster your business, we've got a few seats left in the special summer session of the Action Zone Veterans Florida Entrepreneurship Program, and we would love to have you.
that's right. We take late registrants all the time.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody
And
waits till the
especially
last
those
minute.
people over the age of 60. I need some ammunition and some company over there. Never too late to start a business. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.